Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've been gone, how long have I been gone? Well, so how long have I since I last posted a video? 16 days. It's been 16 whole days since I last posted a video. And even then that wasn't even, it was one of my videos, but it was an editing video. Anyway, so the Canon C100 Mark I. This little beauty right here. I picked this up, I'd say about 2 years ago now. And it's the first C100. The literal first C100 that came out in around 2012. Is it any good? Well, it's a complicated question, really, because it is good, but it's also not very good. Before we do get into it though, I do want to say that on my specific model, okay, the lens mount is broken, okay? Look, you see that little hole there? Yeah, there should be a little dot. The lens mount is broken. So I have an EF lens here and it locks in, it goes into place, it can hold, but that's about it. Okay, so what are the specs? Well, we have 8 effective megapixels, 9 actual megapixels. We have 4K video recording, downsampled to 1080p, which sounds a bit of a rob, really. I'm not too happy about that, really. You know, we have 4K, but you can only shoot in 1080p. It is really kind of what it is. There's nothing you can do about that. But it does mean when it comes time to edit the footage, you can export in 4K. It's what I used to do. Now, the biggest problem with the C100 is its focusing, okay? And this isn't just a problem with mine. This is a problem with all C100s. See, this, because it is a Cinecam of the era, didn't actually have autofocus. Well, it did have autofocus, but not continuous. So, as an example, this R6 that I'm filming on has continuous autofocus and pretty good autofocus. If I move over here, back here, I should still be in focus. This doesn't do that. So if I switch off the autofocus, you can see as I move around, I'm out of focus. My camera is still tracking me, I can see it on the screen, but I'm out of focus. See, look, I'm all blurry. Now, let's switch it back on. So this is autofocus, okay? Now, some C100s do have continuous autofocus. Not all of them do. It was a £500 add-on extra, but not everyone got the £500 add-on extra, and Canon will no longer sell it to you as far as to my knowledge, which is unfortunate because you even when they would sell it to you, you had to send your camera in and it would be out of action for a number of weeks, shall we say. But on the plus side, you got continuous autofocus, and from what I've heard, it was pretty good autofocus. Now, whether it actually was, I don't know, because my one didn't come with the added upgrade of continuous autofocus. Okay, so that was the biggest downside, really. So let's focus on the good things. So at the time of when this camera was released, obviously they didn't have the RF mount, so you have EF mount, which is really good because there are lots of lovely, delicious lenses. Right now I have the 24-105 f4 and it is a decent lens. And because it is a EF mount, you can get lots of different lenses for it because, well, there are hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of EF lenses out there. So I can't be massively good to this thing without dragging it down. You know, 2 steps up and I drag it down a step. Okay, so its file format is AVC HD. Now, if you're just going to put this into something like Premiere Pro DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, stuff like that, you will be fine. But it has to come directly from the SD. Well, you can put the file onto your computer and then straight into your editing software is what I mean. Or you can pull it directly from the SD to your editing software, but you will not. I repeat, you cannot put it in and watch it before you put it into your editing software because it just won't read it. It won't. Well, at least my M1 MacBook Pro doesn't read AVC HD, which is weird because, you know, Apple usually is able to read all formats and it doesn't. But Final Cut Pro, which is my editing software, which is what this is edited in, reads it perfectly fine. Now, you do, on the plus side though, get log. You get Canon log. And I must admit, it is a pleasure to work with. The dynamic range, the ability to, you know, color grade, put LUTs on, yada, yada, yada. There is a decent amount of room. Now, this thing can record for an awfully long time because, well, it's a Cinecam. So it's going to be able to record for an awfully long time. It doesn't have a record limit like something like this does, which I believe is about 20 minutes, depending on whether or not it overheats, which it probably will. So because this doesn't have a record limit, can it get hot? Well, no, not really. I've left this recording personally for about 3 hours and it never got hot. It got a little bit warm, but that is mainly because it has a fan. It has an exhaust, sorry, just there. And it also has, wait, there it is. An intake just there by the hand grip. And I'm gonna boost this up a bit more because I wanna talk about this hand grip, right? Give me a sec. This is the hand grip that you get for the most part, okay? You've got a trigger button just there. Come on, focus, there we go. You've got a nice little trigger button just there that's, it's okay, it's clicky. You've got a nice little red dot. We also have a dial just here that's reminiscent of older Canon cameras and some modern ones. We then also on the back, we have, put that down, we have a toggle just there and a button that's customizable, by the way. And to be fair, most of these buttons are, which is a really good thing, but we'll get to that in a sec. Now that is the, come on, focus. There we go. That's the mount for the hand grip, and you have to plug it in and then you can put it on. Now, it's annoying to put it on and to plug it in, but on the plus side, you can have this handle however you want. So I've got this straight down, I can unscrew it. Come on, unscrewing it, there we go. And I can have it wherever I want. However I want to have, you know, if I want to have it like that, I can just lock it into place. Look at that. Look, I mean, I'm never going to use it like that unless I'm getting an upshot like that maybe, which is really good. Now, I don't know if modern Cinecams on Canon's part do this, but that's really good. But then again, this is a Cinecam. So you would want customability. And speaking of customability, that's exactly what you've got with this top handle, just here. Now, oh, Canon, I can't give you a good thing without giving you a bad thing. So this handle here is a microphone, which is cool. It really is. Look at that. You've got your own internal microphone. Now, because this is a Cinecam, it's never going to be very good. It's more for, you know, keeping, you know, synced up with other audio devices. But it's really good that we've got a decent-ish microphone. If only it was decent. It's not. It's absolutely, excuse my language, fucking terrible. And it really is. Now, I recently did a gig with this camera and I recorded audio with this microphone and it nearly cost me the client. Luckily, however, I had these with me that day. The DJI microphones, and this is probably going to connect. There we go. DJI microphones, the one that I'm using right now, to record audio separately, because that's what they can do. This is being recorded separately. It's being recorded internally and on the microphone itself. Luckily, that day I had set up one of these because this absolutely ruined the audio on the video because of how bad it sounded. Now, on the plus side, there are lots of controls. Look, you can open it up and you've got physical buttons to be able to control your audio source. So you can use these microphones, which are, let's face it, terrible, or you can use these. Look, you get two of them. Now, I didn't use them that day. Kind of wish I did, but I didn't, so it's fine. Speaking of audio, actually, so here is the plug for the audio jack for this handheld microphone, but you're not always utilizing audio via, this handle. So you might want to go, you know what, it doesn't fit my rig, bye-bye. So what we have got is, if we look, we've got a mic input, and this is just a standard headphone jack, microphone port thing. Look at that. So you can plug in whatever microphone you want, which is really good. Then again, this is a Cinecam, so it would be really good. It's designed for customability and yeah. Like the buttons here, look, I'm going to give them praise again. The buttons here, let's bring the camera in again. Keep doing that. Look, we've got all these buttons that control the iris, the ISO, the apertures and stuff like that. Now you'll notice down here is a little switch. So can I zoom in more? Nope, that's it. And that's the internal, yes, internal SD, internal ND, so neutral density filter. Yes, this has internal I was going to say SD again. Internal ND, so you can just flick through. So you've got a clear one, you've got the dark one, the middle, a light shaded one, and then back to the first one. Let's zoom in so we can have a look. Look at that. So while we're looking at the sensor, we have a Super 35 sensor. It's not full frame, it's cropped ever so slightly, which is fine, that's not a big deal. It's a decent sensor, it looks pretty good for its age. I mean, it's a Canon, so you kind of would expect that to be the case. Now working with the C100 is okay, like as a workflow, setup, carry, stuff like that. It will fit in a backpack, like a large camera bag, a very large camera bag, because you're going to need it, right? Because this is a big-ish body. I mean, it's fairly small and compact in comparison to other Cinecams, but if you're coming from something like, I don't know, a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, frankly, in my opinion, you should probably stay with a mirrorless camera if you've got one, that a newer mirrorless or DSLR if you can. Working with it in the field is a bummer. It's really annoying to work with because it is just heavy. I mean, it's light, but it's heavy and annoying to work with, because if you want the XLR ports that are on here, you've then got to carry this, you've then got to have your handle, and then, your mount here, and then you're going to need your lenses, and yada, yada, yada. Now, something that I absolutely love about this camera is this. Its battery life. It is nigh on unstoppable. I mean, it obviously does die. I don't think I've ever killed this battery. I really don't think I've ever killed it. I don't. Even after all these years, this is my Canon's original battery, and I don't think I've ever killed it. Now, something we do have, which you'll notice, is this little button here that shows how much battery the battery has, how much capacity is left before you need to recharge it. And I love that. Why can't we have that on more batteries? Why can't we have an exposed battery and just push a button, meaning we don't have to switch the camera on and wait for it to boot up and yada yada yada. Now, you do need this handle. You do. Because it has them controls on the back, just there, that then let you control the menus on the camera itself. So you can go through the settings, like that, by pushing down on the little joystick. And then, you know, obviously selecting what you want, like that. Let's just get rid of that, I don't need that. Now you can probably just about, where's my microphone? There it is. That's the sound of the fan. It's very quiet. I mean, it's on now, and as I'm talking, you can't really hear it. If I put this roughly where my R6 is, you can't really hear it. It's just kind of going. I mean, if, however, you have a onboard, not an onboard microphone, but a microphone that is mounted to the top, you will probably capture some fan noise. But it's okay. Okay, so another negative. I'm sorry, I have to do it. This is first and foremost a cine cam. It's for cinema stuff, making documentaries and movies and whatnot. So it's meant to be rigged out with external displays and who knows what else. But you don't have to use that. You can use the onboard screen, which is a decent display. It does take a second to boot up. There we go. And then if I put, where did I put it? There it is. If I put the 24-105 back on there, you can't see me because apparently I think I might have an ND on. Anyway, this display it's okay. It's okay. Unless you want to film yourself, in which case that is kind of as far as it goes. It doesn't flip out anymore. It flips away to tuck it away behind it. And then like that, and then like that. That is, you can kind of see it when it's out there, but it is very hard, especially when it doesn't have autofocus, well, continuous autofocus. Now you do have a focusing button down here that you can use, and I'm sure you could probably plug something in somewhere to be able to, you know, get like a remote to focus it. But trying to push that button and focus on yourself is annoying. Now it does have zebra lines and I don't know what they're called, the focusing lines that you can get on some, most Canon cameras nowadays. Meaning that yes, you can manually focus and make sure that you are in focus. As long as you stay nice and still during your video, you can keep focus on it pretty well. Because remember, this is a cine cam. It's designed to have someone behind it keeping focus, which is fine. But it's just really hard for one person who sat in front of the camera, like myself, who needs continuous autofocus. So I really can't stress enough about the autofocus. Now, luckily, on the back here, you'll notice we have the display and we have a control panel. Let's move the display out of the way. We have the control panel, we have the battery, and we also have the SD card slots. Dual SD card, look at that. Obviously it has a dual SD card slot because, well, it's a cine cam. But that also means that you can dual record. You can record at the same time on both SD cards, or you can record from one, and then once that one's full up, you can record to the other. Now, personally, I have never had an SD card fail. Modern SD cards are pretty good. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it can happen. I've heard of lots of stories of where SD cards and SSDs have failed. And it does happen, especially as stuff ages, they can fail. So for the most part, personally, I buy a 128 gigabyte SD card and then I just kind of, well, no, I buy two of them, put them in the camera, and then I don't dual record. I record from one, and then once that one's full up, I record to the other because I'm filming for so long. Now, normally when I record, I'm recording on more than one device at a time, so that, you know, an SD card failing is not a massive issue for me because I have more than one recording at any one time. Like my audio right now, I'm recording separately on this, and I'm also recording on this here. Whew, that was a lot to say. So, how much is this camera? Well, about 2 or 3 years ago when I bought mine, I paid around 400 Great British pounds, which is pretty good. I mean, you're getting a 4K CMOS sensor down res to 1080p, you're getting C-Log, you're getting a fan, you're getting the EF mount, dual SD card recording, a really good battery life. Yes, the autofocusing isn't available unless you have one that has the £500 upgrade. Picture quality is pretty good. It's not up to standards of today, really, but if you're just getting into SD cars, if you're just getting into cinematography, it's pretty good. You can film at 60 FPSI, 60i FPS, however it is. Downside again, it's in AVC HD, so if you've got a modern laptop or a decent laptop, even from like, I don't know, say 5-10 years ago, it should be able to understand the footage in a modern editor or in a decent editor. It's just annoying to carry. That's the biggest problem as well, actually, apart from the autofocus, is it's annoying to carry around because you will need a bag, a big bag. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me in this video, and I will see you in the next one.